Hi, how are you guys doing? I'm great, thank you for asking. So, today I want to talk with you about why we don't always get what we want. Have you ever prayed about something and you prayed so badly and so often and so many times and somehow you didn't get an answer? See, I know that I have, and something that I've learned is that the reason why I didn't get an answer is because I didn't pray right. So often we pray for what we want instead of for something that we need. So I want to share with you two stories from the Bible and then an experience I've had. And I'm hoping that in this way you will get a little bit of a better understanding on why we don't always get what we want. So the first story I want to talk with you about is the story that happens somewhere in the beginning of the Bible. It is in Genesis 3, and I'm going to read from the New Living Translation. Oh, by the way, I've written everything I wanted to talk about down in a notebook so that I sometimes might look at it to make sure that I don't forget to share what I want to share with you guys. So in Genesis 3, we are reading that Eve had a conversation with the serpent, and the serpent tried to convince Eve to eat from the tree in the middle of the garden, the tree with the knowledge of good and evil. So it's the one tree that God forbade Adam and Eve to eat from. And we're going to read verse 6. So let me get the Bible. Okay. The woman was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious, and she wanted the wisdom that it would give her. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too. So what I want to talk with you guys about is mostly the first part of this verse. It says that she looked at the tree and it was beautiful and the fruit looked delicious. And she wanted the wisdom that it would give her. So often we want things and it's because it looks beautiful. It is because it looks delicious. It's because, we believe that what we want is good. But good isn't always enough. So the thing here is that is it wrong to ask for wisdom? Is it wrong to want wisdom? Because it says she wanted the wisdom it would give her. And no, it's not wrong to want wisdom. For when we see a story in the Bible about Solomon, the son of King David, God asked him, what do you want me to give you? And he asked, I want wisdom. Give me the wisdom so I would make the right decisions. And God said, because you didn't ask for money, because you didn't ask for fame, because you didn't ask for this or that, but you asked for wisdom, I will give you all the others. So it's not wrong to ask for wisdom, but it's about how it went. See, they disobeyed God. See, God told them not to eat from that tree. There were so many trees in that garden, but they wanted that one fruit. God had given them everything, no worries, everything. God was walking among them, but they wanted that one fruit. And because they wanted that one fruit above everything else, they broke. Something broke in their relationship with God, and they were put out of the Garden of Eden. So the second story I want to talk about is about a man after God's own heart. It's about King David. And as we're reading, we're gonna read from 2 Samuel 11. The king would normally go with the soldiers into battle, but this time the king decided to stay home. And as he was walking on the balcony, he saw Bathsheba, and this is what the end of verse 2 says about it. It says, "And he noticed a woman of unusual beauty taking a bath." I'm not sure, but I believe everyone has been outside and everyone has seen some of the women out there. And some of the women are very beautiful. I know in my past I was so insecure. I'm like, wow, you are so gorgeous. I wish I could look like you. You are so beautiful. But now I know I'm beautiful too, because I'm created in the image of God. But anyways, I was thinking you are so beautiful, but this one says, unusual beautiful. And she was bathing, so she was naked. Now, you guys can say no, but I believe that if you see an unusual, beautiful naked woman, it is hard to resist. So King David saw her and he was like, I want to know who she is. So he asked them, like, find out for me, who is this woman? And they said, it's Bathsheba. She's the wife of Uriah. So King David said, send her to me. And when she was sent, they slept together. And she found out that she was pregnant, so she told King David. And King David wanted to cover up the adultery. So he sent for Uriah to come, and he was like, go spend some time with your wife. But Uriah refused. He was so loyal to King David and to his fellow comrades that he refused to lay with his wife while the others were still in battle. So King David couldn't make it look like the baby was Uriah. So he was like, what do I have to do now? And he sent Uriah back into battle with his own death warrant. This guy had to carry his own death warrant, the own thing that said, put him in the front line where he will be killed. I think that must be hard, but this all happened because King David saw an unusual, beautiful woman that he wanted to sleep with. But this woman was married. And King David was married too, so he could have slept with his own woman. But he didn't. He wanted this unusual, beautiful woman. And because of this, because Eve and King David both followed their human desires, both of their decisions had big, big consequences. See, it was followed. With Adam and Eve, they were put out of Eden. With King David, a guy was put into battle to be killed. The son that came out of the adultery died. So a lot of things happened because they followed their own desires. If you think, let's think about what would happen if they would have asked God. If they would have required God's opinion, like, God, can I have this? Do you think God would have said yes? That God would have said, yes, because I love you so much, I will give this to you. No! God would not have said yes because God knew the consequences. God knew that they would be put out of Eden because of the wisdom. That people would have died because of the adultery. So God would have never allowed it. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm not sure if you guys have ever played the game Yahtzee. Yahtzee is being played with dice. 5 to be precise. So there are different ways to get points. So one way to get a lot of points is to have a small straight or big straight. And a small straight means that you have 4 dice that follow each other. So you have either 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a small straight. A big straight, on the other hand, a large straight, is 5 dice that have to follow up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I once threw a small straight. It was 2, 3, 4, 5. So to throw a big one, because when you play Yahtzee, you can throw 3 times to get what you need. So the first time I threw the small one, and I could throw 2 more times to get the large one. So my options were quite easy. I could throw 6, or I could throw 1. So in my mind, I was like, let's pick a number. Let's go for 6. How beautiful would it be to throw a 6? So I kept putting that number in my mind, and I kept repeating it to myself. Let's throw that number. I want that number. Somehow I thought that if I focus on this 6, when I throw it, I will throw a 6. And as I threw it, I got a 1. And I actually forgot that I could have a large straight with a 1. So I didn't get what I wanted because I wanted the 6. But I got exactly what I needed. So when we're talking about numbers, there are certain numbers in the Bible that have a meaning. So the number 6 has a meaning. It stands for human. Number 6 means human. See, God created the human on the 6th day. And when we're reading in Revelations about the beast, it says the beast had a number of a man, and that number was 6. Well, it says 666, but it's about the number. It's the number 6. It's a number of a man. And when we're talking about number 1, God is number 1. God is 3, but 1. So God is the beginning of everything. God is number 1. But too often we are so focused on our number 6. We are so focused on our human emotions. We are so focused on what we want that we forget that number 1, that God is an option. We forget God and we think about ourselves. So if you keep focusing on number 6, if you think about that beautiful, unusual lady, if you think about that handsome, unusual, handsome guy, if you keep focusing on that number 6 and pray for that, well, it's not meant for you. You will not get it. If we're thinking about a man that belongs to another one, if you're thinking about a woman that belongs to someone else, you will not get it. God will not give it to you. If you're thinking about the forbidden fruit, if you're thinking about that one fruit, that one thing you want but you can't have, God is not going to give it to you. But if you start praying, not on number 6, but if you start praying with your eyes focused on number 1, you will get your heart desires. So if you start praying about what God wants, you will get every desire. So let your heart desires being filtered by your number 1. Let your heart desires being filtered by God. And if you do that, you will get everything you are asking for. So when you focus on your 1, you can make your small into something large. And something so big you can't imagine it. I'm hoping this has helped you a little bit. Have a nice day and God bless. Mwah. Love you all.